Rick ended his rookie solo season with 1,105 ounces of gold. It's an impressive number, but let's head out into the sun and shine some light onto our solar-powered calculators, because we need to figure out Rick's Season 9 totals. It's no secret Gold Rush loves to total up the found gold. They're not as good about totaling up the expenses it takes to find that gold. But viewers, you're lucky in two ways. One, I've been keeping track, and two, I like math, which is a fancy way of saying I have no real life. So let's get started. Rick ends the season with 1,105 ounces of gold, and as always, that's the weight of the dirty, dirty gold as it comes up from the ground. It still needs to be refined. In all the past years, the gold has only been about 85% pure. After refinement, that leaves him with 939 ounces, and of that, 10% belongs to Seamus for his royalty, so now we're down to 845. At the end of episode 21, Rick generously gives each of his 6 team members 50 ounces in gold, so we lop that 300 ounces off next, leaving him with just 545. And before we go on, some will say, but you should have subtracted that 300 first, as he gave it away at the end of the season before it was refined. Yeah, on TV he gave it away first, but technically at that point the gold wasn't his to give. Not until it was properly refined, and weighed, and the rightful amount given in royalties to Seamus. If Rick was going to give away any gold, it had to be after all the previous. Okay, end editorial. So after everyone gets paid, Rick is left with 545 ounces of gold. All year, they've been saying gold sells for $1,200 an ounce, meaning Rick ends the year with $654,000 of sweet, sweet cash, which is great until you start factoring in his expenses. Let's start with the big stuff. He starts episode 1 saying he has already invested $250,000 to get his operation running, leaving him with $404,000. He then pays Seamus another $100,000 for his reclamation bond, putting him down to $304,000. He buys his TROMMEL for $180,000, leaving him at $124,000. And Freddy sets up his gold room for another $50,000, bringing him down to $74,000. Things are still looking okay, right? Except for all those equipment rentals. He rents the 475 dozer 3 different times. First for 10 days at $10,000 a day, another time for 2 days at $6,000 a day, and one last time for 1 day for $6,000. That takes off another $118,000, leaving him at negative $44,000. Uh-oh. In episode 1, he gets an excavator delivered for $5,000, and in episode 14, he rents a hopper feeder for 2 months at $10,000 a month, and now he's at negative $69,000. And those are the only numbers we know about. There are still all the costs that we don't know. First, he shows up with an extra excavator, then 2 extra dozers show up in week 2, then the new sluice boxes in week 5, the giant retaining wall built for the TROMMEL. Let's say he's the greatest negotiator in the world and gets all of the above for $100,000. And that puts him at negative $169,000. And now we get to the real killer, fuel. We can't really know, but even if I give him the most ridiculously low estimate of $2,000 a day, that would still cost him another $240,000 for the season, and it could be easily double or triple that. But let's not quibble and just put him at negative $409,000. Should we go on? Well, I could, but it really becomes impossible for an outsider to know anymore. There's taxes, fees, permit applications, heating bills, food expenses, and the countless equipment repairs he'll need to do before he can even consider next season. So in the end, let's just go with a season total of negative $87 quadbillion. Wait, 87 quadbillion is not a real number, you say? You think I'm just exaggerating reality for drama and convenience? Me? Exaggerating reality for drama and convenience? What do you think this is? A Gold Rush episode?